Yo, salam alaikum, wagwan. We're now locked into the Crossoverdxb of myself, Myers and Freek. What's good, bro?
Yo, bro. What's going on, man?
Bro, it's been a minute. And you know what? Like, listen, let's just come clean, innit? We are going to get to the consistency, but everyone's doing their thing on the side and whatever. So we're going to try and balance it and give you lot what you need. We've seen the DMs. We've seen the messages. When's the next one coming? We're going to get the consistency there. I think that's something we can talk about today in terms of consistency, balancing things. Do you know what I'm saying? But before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe. You know the vibes, yeah? Shout out everyone listening. Today, we're joined by a fellow Dubai podcaster, yeah? We ain't gonna give him too much of a long intro because he knows the vibes, yeah? If anything, we've come here to get some tips off of my man because his platform's big, doing it well. You understand? I've got to respect it. We've got JibberwithJabber in the building. What you saying, bro?
What's happening?
My guy, what you saying? You good?
It's good to be here. I'm a big fan, man. I'm a big fan.
All right, so likewise. And I think, you know, when we met, I met you through Freek. Obviously, you two did his podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys check it out. What's the before we even get into it, like tell them your Instagram.
Instagram, JibberwithJabber official. The podcast called JibberwithJabber. YouTube, Spotify, the same as you guys, just all over the place.
Yeah.
Virus taking over everything.
I think what's good is like we can bounce off each other with regards to your platform's a little bit different to ours in terms of how we go about things. Nevertheless, we share the same sort of vision, goals, as Freek's aware. We can get into it though. So yeah, I mean, what made you start your podcast in particular, and you know, what is it about? Tell the people what it's about so they can tune into your thing as well.
To be honest, my one, I mean, I've always listened to podcasts all the time. Like when I'm in the gym and I'm bench pressing and stuff, and I'm sitting there cracking up listening to comedy podcasts and stuff, and people are looking at like, what's this guy laughing? And he's in the gym, like, it's supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
So I was always listening to podcasts, and then I was like, I chat shit with my friends all day anyway. I might as well just put a camera on and record it and get some guests in and get different people with different vibes and all of the different. I mean, you see some of the characters that I have, they're just like worlds apart. Some of them you get like a scientist on one day, and then you'll get a comedian on the next day, and then you know how it is.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that.
I was just like, let me just record this now, man.
Yeah. What made you like wanna? Obviously, we've been on your platform. Yeah, we've been on your platform. So make sure everyone that obviously is locked in, make sure you go and check out that particular episode. But the rest of them are very good as well. But how do you select your guests? Like, is it something that has to be interesting to you, or?
See, this is a big thing, because in the beginning, it was like, all right, I need to find someone who's got mad numbers so I can steal all of their subscribers and get all their people and all that.
Yeah.
But then I started to realize that sometimes, especially in the social media world, you can have 1 million followers and nothing to say. Do you know what I mean? And nothing to bring to the table at all. You know, and it's just like, yeah, you take some nice pictures and that, and some people will follow you for whether it's your body or whether it's whatever. Then you actually start speaking to them and you're just like, yeah, all right.
They're not really interested.
They're not really
I think I learned it the hard way when...
drop some names, bro.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna. I know this episode is gonna go viral after that, but you know, it's not worth it because of that. But like, even when I first met the first like person that I thought he's cool in the internet, and then when I met him in real life, I'm like, bro, I don't think I'll ever know you if it wasn't
vibes,
for the,
right?
if it wasn't for the thing you're doing, you know. And it's just different characters. It's not even the same. He's awkward in real life. He's not funny in real life.
But you know what it is? If it works, sometimes things that work on camera don't necessarily work in person.
Definitely.
Innit? And it's
100%.
theatrics. Like 100%. As we know a lot of like creatives and people that are obviously in the rap scene.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People that are actors. You've come across, you know, loads of individuals that have been on your platform. And now it's like, how can I explain it? For me personally, it's like, where would you rather be funny, in person or on camera? And some people are naturally introverts. Do you know what I'm saying? So in front of the camera, yeah, you can, but when you got certain energy around you, well, we're in a new world now, innit?
Yeah.
So people are just like attached to their phones.
Yeah.
So it could be them in the middle of nowhere, one up, and they can go viral just off of that. And they are in their own comfortable space. But then when you're bringing different energies into the room, people can freeze up. Do you know what I'm saying? So now they don't know what to say. They don't know how to respond to things. They never had that engagement. Why do you think like dating apps and all these sort of things are mad popular? Because you ain't got to meet the person until you've got to meet the person. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's a? Do you think that's a?
I think the app works on just breaking the ice because a lot of people are awkward.
Yeah.
To just do the first move, you know.
Yeah, but
until they get the acceptance and they're like, ah, cool, let's meet.
You reckon?
Yeah, because it's harder to actually do it in real life. To do the first, hey, how are you?
But wouldn't you rather?
Weirdest.
We're coming from a generation where, you know, we remember what it was like without dating apps, without internet. Do you know what I'm saying? Without social media. So, you know,
builds your.
You know how mad that is as well. That like some of these people don't understand. We grew up without internet, dude. Like if you wanted to see your friend, you had to go and knock for your friend.
Yes.
And if he wasn't there, you know that there was 3 other places that he could be, bro.
Yeah.
So you'd either go to the park, you'd go to the other guy's house, or you'd go to that place. And
if you your friend.
And if you missed it, you missed it. That's it. Like they've gone somewhere else and you missed it for the day. That was it. It was done.
That was nuts.
You know what I mean?
You literally have to go and find him.
Yeah.
Like it's not let me WhatsApp him or let me. There's none of that. Do you
And
know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
issue that I'm getting now with a lot of people, is that I'm very old fashioned. I like to call my friends. So I like to call you and have a 5-minute conversation with you. People don't like doing that anymore. They just like having a WhatsApp. I don't want to talk to you for 48 hours to have a 2-minute conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, you can't tell anything in a message. Like there's been some times where, like here's an example. I messaged my friend and I was like, hey man, how you doing? Hope everything's well. You know, if you need to, I can't even remember what it was, but it was like, let me call you later so we can chat. And she was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm getting over it and, you know, I'm feeling better. And I was like, what do you mean? I called you because I was feeling upset. Like she didn't realize that it was lost in translation because her dog died and she thought I was messaging her because of that.
Right.
And it was like, you can't tell emotions or anything from a message.
Weird.
You don't know what's going on. So sometimes people are like, what are you shouting for? I'm not shouting. We're not even having do you know what I mean? This conversation. I like to hear someone's voice.
Just put the caps on.
Yeah, I know, bro, but sometimes I don't know how to take them off in it and I just been shouting.
No, but
shouting for 3 weeks.
You know what it is, yeah? Me, I'm a man, like, when I drive and I'm going somewhere, that's when I will probably hit someone. Do you know what I'm saying? Or I will pick up the phone and, you know, if you call me. And then, I don't know, I'm definitely more of a speak on the phone person rather than WhatsApp. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place, innit? It depends on the location that you're in, if it's busy, if it's loud where you are. But if you're trying to, like, translate a message, I've got into accidental arguments where you think I'm being disrespectful. Now you're being disrespectful on purpose. Now I need to disrespect you, bro.
Sometimes,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, sometimes it's nice to hear your friend's voice, man, and just
100%.
have a nice conversation. Like, I'm really old-fashioned at it. I like busting joke and having a good conversation, hearing their voice, and these days they don't like to do that, bro. People just this new age influencer or whatever, they like having messages, and I'm just like, look, unless you want to call me, man.
But would you say, obviously you're in the industry, like, well, I suppose, you know,
like
we're all
50.
in the industry effectively just a little bit, you know, even if it is podcasting, like, do you have like internet friends, like people that you've never met before, but you would class them as, you know, a good companion of yours?
Nah, not really. If they're not into the stuff I do, then they're not really.
But what if they're in the same field and they're supporting you and you're supporting them?
Maybe I'm really a fan of what they're doing.
Yeah.
If they're fellow rappers in other countries, then yeah. If they're creatives, they do films and stuff, yeah. But like, I don't think I have just friends because of friends, you know.
But do you think that person could cross over to you, classing that individual as like a good friend, but you haven't physically met that person? But you might have been communicating over WhatsApp. Bro. It could be WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever, for 5 years.
Because these guys that I know, that I call friends, I've been through situations, like weird-ass situation that made them be as close as
They earn the right to become friends.
Yeah, because other than that, it's just you're a cool guy that you're cool, I'll talk to you, whatever, we can just go chat, whatever, yeah? But like, I don't think they can cross over to be
a genuine
because,
ride
bro,
or die. Come to my wedding. The first time you're meeting him, you're going to his wedding. But you've never met him in person before.
But not just that. If it ever got to the point where you did feel like that, you would be like, yo, let's link up.
Facts.
Like,
but what you could be, but the internet's made the world so small where that person might be in Venezuela.
Yeah, but then you'd have a Skype call. You'd have some sort of where I can see you and we have a real conversation.
Yeah.
Like if it's just like words on the thing, then That's like pen pals back in the day, remember?
Catfished as well. You know, like when you go and meet someone that you've never met before.
Some of the artists right now, like, that you don't know. Like, I was a fan of an artist that I don't really know how he looks like. Right? He even posted a picture of himself. I just like his art, right? And then he's like, yo, I'm coming to Dubai. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know your real name. I never seen how you look like. Cool, all right, cool. But I was so awkward because I'm like, bro, I'm used to just being, I don't know how he's going to look like, bro.
Yeah, could be anyone.
Yeah. And that was one of the most, because now people are just becoming insecure of a lot of things. It became a mystery to not show your face or whatever. But now it's like, what about your people? What about the new friends that you created because of your art? Are you going to show them your face now, or are you just going to stay mysterious still? Like, so it's just weird, bro.
What do you think about the is this something that you do full time?
Yeah, full time.
Podcasting, yeah?
Full time, yeah.
So
to go back to what you were saying before, it's quite funny because there's a guy out here called Batman DXB.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's Dubai's Batman.
Okay.
All right, full on Batman, bro. Like full get up, everything, face done, everything. So,
What do you mean, like masks and everything?
bruv, he's Batman.
Okay.
He's Dubai's Batman. Apparently, I didn't know this, but every country has a real life Batman that goes around like dressed as Batman and shit. Full armor, everything, bro.
I need to listen to what you're saying.
So I met him for when I was doing something with a comic shop, and the guy won't speak. So apparently, so that makes me think he might be Arab or have a strong Arab accent or a strong Indian accent or something like that. So he doesn't want to kind of give it away. So we were talking, and then after a while, it was like, yeah, I'm never gonna actually talk to you, right? Because you can't kind of break your Batman persona, yeah. So I don't know who this guy is.
So you just communicate with him on WhatsApp?
Yeah, we chat. We every now and then.
So you got Batman on WhatsApp?
I got Batman, bro.
No, but he answers on WhatsApp.
Bro, he answers, but I don't know his name, bro, and I don't know what he looks like. But I know that he's Batman, innit?
But you can see like
yeah, I know that. That's
but
it,
I don't
bro.
understand. I don't understand I don't understand
He does like,
how you got his WhatsApp or who this person is.
Basically, he does like kids parties, Comic Cons, all of these events.
So
if you want to hire
is
Batman as your best man at a wedding, he'll come dressed as Batman and then just come.
Well, what does he do? And like he dances though.
Bro, he's Batman. He solves crime.
Yeah, I don't really know where this is going.
Yeah, but that's the point that I was making.
Right.
The point that you were making with him, that when he was like, I don't know what this guy looks like. So there are cases where he's actually a cool guy. When we chat, he's a fun guy to talk to. But that's as far as it's gonna go, because I'll never know who he is. Really.
But he's not going to a kid's party. He's coming to link you, so you can't.
No, he's not coming to link me in it because
shop.
I can't know who he is. He takes it very seriously, bro.
Did you actually ask him? Did you ask
yeah,
him?
bro.
What happened?
He takes it very seriously. He's like, I can't, I can't tell you who I am because I'm Batman.
What the fuck? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's a mad one.
Hey, that's
Probably has
mad.
his fucking house in Dero. He goes down the fucking.
Yeah, I digress. So,
I think, boy,
but if you want Batman on your podcast, I can get you Batman, bro. But I don't know if he'll talk. So I don't know.
Batman is on the podcast.
It's easy to sound like Batman though.
Yeah, but not if you got a strong ass.
Bro, allow the Batman talk, man. This is getting all mad, fam. I'm not trying to do up a whole 45 minutes of Batman, fam.
Batman, yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Look, so you're podcasting full time, yeah? So I would be interested to know how you go about that. Simply because the crossover team, we get loads of messages from people saying, look, when's the next episode dropping? We're trying to stick to once every 2 weeks. Nevertheless, we got a man that's a full-fledged fucking rap star in the building. We got a man that's a super boss when it comes to production. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk too much about myself. But what I'm trying to say is, when you got a few individuals that have other things happening outside of podcasting, and this is something that we love and enjoy, how do you maintain the consistency for one, which is, I kind of understand those answers. Nevertheless, you're doing it by yourself and having guests. So how easy or difficult do you find that? Like, is this something that you think you'd be able to maintain and keep doing if you wasn't doing it full time?
Look, I could easily maintain it, and I could even grow the team, but there's no need to grow the team. And I think when I do grow the team, it's going to be just for the sake of growing the team. Do you know what I mean? The surprising thing is, there's always guests. I know it seems weird, and I've had mad issues where certain people who have told me, get this guy on as a guest, who wasn't initially my idea of a good guest, and he's got a certain amount of followers, and then he's like, oh, you know, I like to get paid for this kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. And then I'll literally DM on Instagram someone as big as Maz Jabrani or Bassem Youssef or these people who are very well known and have huge followings, and I'm like, yo, you're in Dubai, jump on the podcast, and they just message back like, all right, when? And then I remember the first time that happened, I was like, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, and they were like, yeah. And do you know what I mean? So a lot of them, once they'll just have a look at your page and they'll see, yeah, I like what you're doing, and they'll actually jump through. A lot of these people are really cool and they like doing it, and obviously it's promotion for them.
Did you find it easier once you reach certain milestones? Because when you're starting out, obviously the numbers ain't so glamorous. Do you know what I'm saying? It's still kind of early doors. You might be establishing yourself within the industry. So can you see a difference in interaction depending on how far you are in the podcasting game and the numbers and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously people start to interact more, and obviously the more clips you have with bigger guests, when you approach another guest, when they look, they're going to be like, okay, he's done it or he's done it. So it's going to be easier for them to say a yes kind of thing. But like what we were talking about before, like this is something you enjoy doing and you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Like I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning from my guests. Like I had a NASA scientist on there. I had, different people. So like you learn so much from them. Yeah. That it's like, it's fun anyway.
Yeah. I hear that. I think for us, obviously we got me and Freek. Me and Freek will vibe all day long and just slap the camera on and it's a vibe, innit? So our platform isn't guest dependent. We do get a few DMs of people asking to be on the platform or people DMing us to recommend, like they're recommending a particular person to get on. But like we're on the tip of, okay, if the person comes, the person comes. If not, then we just crack on because, do you know what I'm saying? The vibes, the energy between us is banter in itself. But with that being said, people don't understand it's a process. And like you have to put certain, I don't know if it's ego or pride or what aside to approach that person to come onto your podcast. And I remember when we did we did an episode with you and there was an individual here and I was like, oh, that would be a good person to get on. You was like, DM him. And I was like, DM him? DM him? Like, you mad? Like, I ain't DMing. And I suppose it's about transitioning and coming out of your show and understanding it might not even be disrespectful whether that person can come or not. They might be busy or the schedule, but how are you ever going to know if you don't offer yourself or offer, do you know what I'm saying, ask or whatever. Yeah. So I think that is easier said than done from where I'm coming from, like Southeast London. You don't really approach a man and like, it's, do you know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely an etiquette of how to go about things.
There is, but at the same time, it's like this. If you were to meet somebody at a party and like say Freek's sitting there, he's got, a big rapper with him or whatever, you're not going to be like, don't really want to say hi or whatever.
That's different in person though. In person. And as far as I'm concerned, like I am...
But what are you going to lose?
Do you know what it is? It goes down to the original conversation. There's nothing you can lose, yeah. But I think it's definitely easier in person to understand that person's vibe and energy and whether they will even fit the show than DMing.
But if they don't reply or if they reply kind of funny, then they don't fit the show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm just saying these are things that I know.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're kind of like.
And there's people that like are watching this that maybe want to start a podcast or have been listening to us from the beginning or even listening to the both of our stuff, but like these are the questions they may have. Like, okay, so how do you get guests on and stuff like that, innit? So it's important to tell them. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much a message can do. And obviously whenever I DM people, it's never a long ass of, oh, welcome to the JibberwithJabber podcast. We're a podcast that does this and we'd really love to get you on. I literally just go, yo man, you're in Dubai, wicked, come jump on the podcast, it will be fun. Do you know what I mean? In a kind of just a...
Cool. You're setting the tone.
Setting the tone as a
formal.
It's lighthearted, it's not like, and they're not going to feel like, oh, this guy's going to be a bit weird with me or whatever. It's like, he's comfortable enough to DM me and just be like, come, so...
Yeah, it's funny, innit? Like, obviously, different platforms, different methods of going about things. But like I said, we got a fully fledged rap star on the platform every week. So it's like, do you know what I'm saying? I would say to him, bro, don't ask it. I don't know why, but I'm like, you can't ask. I'll feel better me doing it because I'm more of on a low key. Yes, I have, a great network, but I'm more on a low key vibe. Or even the production team might go and do it. But it's just the strategy is different. Do you know what I'm saying? There's different ways to go about it.
But it's true what he's saying. Like, it just depends on the vibe. Like, I would prefer hitting someone up that I know he's cool. and I won't even feel some type of way asking him, you know? I think there's a lot of people that they know me and I know them in the scene and they have big followers and I can't ask them because of ego, because of a lot of things. And I know this person will take it, you know what I mean, the wrong way. It's just the vibe will be
And
wrong.
you can't afford to lose
No,
your...
fuck that. Because at the end of the day, I can flip and be like, you know what, fuck that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
fuck off.
Just be like,
and you're freak,
screenshot
bro.
this,
And
screenshot
yeah,
this
you're
message.
freak. Like-
Because my character is that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm only cool with people that I know they're cool.
And there's clout
You know what I mean?
chasing
Like,
motherfuckers out here
yeah,
that will
of course.
screenshot it. Freak's asking me to come on his thing, and I said, no. Like, next thing you know, it's on the Buy Shade Room.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like,
not-
it's a weird game.
And then you get people. I mean, we've had a couple of the same people message us to be on a podcast. We've spoken about it before.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
that ain't it.
and they come and they're on and they're sending me videos and
It's
stuff, and I'm just like,
crazy, man.
it's just
I'm
not
not
my
on it.
type of thing. And but they don't kind of get it.
Yeah.
And they'll keep like, this is my next track, and I was like, I didn't like.
Yeah,
I didn't,
well, yeah, I know you
I didn't like the one before. Like, I didn't reply to the one before, so it's like,
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not out of a like I just say, hey, we're not a good fit or whatever, but it's not out of an ego. It's like, oh, you're not good enough. I just don't want to bring to my viewers a conversation that's not fun
Engaging
or
It's
not
gonna come back.
engaging.
It's gonna come
or-
back to the first topic where we were like, people can read text. Like, there's no emotion in text. Like,
Yeah.
your text can be arrogant to others, and they can read it the wrong way, and that's how it is, bro. And for me, it's a good idea to actually segregate you and the person answering these questions and whatever, because bro, you don't want people to hate you because of that. Like, this fan can turn to an enemy just because.
Yeah, but I reply to all of my messages, and
That's
I've
good.
got full-on
That's
conversations with my
that's good.
people who watch and stuff.
Yeah, but later on, I don't think you're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, of course I am. That's my people. That's why.
To a certain extent,
Yeah, not obviously if it's a million messages.
because it can affect you as a brand, like,
Yeah.
because you can't say no to a lot of people, because those people are fans. Some of them actual fans. When they know you're the one who said no, they might flip up and be like, you know what, I don't like this podcast
But
anymore.
I
you know?
urge people to put themselves forward if they want to, because also the one thing that I really wanted to do was to kind of push the community in Dubai. So I have some guests on my podcast who've got 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because the first thing you said to me when I'd asked you the question, you said, well, you know, I would go on their page, I'll see their following, and then I'll message them. So I'm saying, okay, my next question was going to be, does the following determine whether you want them on more or not? And as the pod, you got, do you know what? You got, with podcasting, yeah, you've got the product and then you've got the game. You know what I'm saying? Some people are more interested in the product. Some people are interested in the game. And what I mean is like, it needs to be balanced, because you can have a great product, but no one's seeing it. Do you know what I'm saying? But then if you play the game too much, you're now putting out a different type of product. Do you know what I'm saying? That you wasn't trying to do initially. But I think what's interesting about your podcast in particular, now that I've met you and I've started to study it, is obviously where you have different people on, they have their following, who share to their following, who share to their following.
Exactly.
So that builds your repertoire quite quickly. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even when I was talking to a potential sponsor the other day, and I was like, look, you're not sponsoring me alone. Every time I get another guest, you're getting a whole new set of eyes who want to see their person on the episode. So you're getting my original viewers, but you're also getting Freek and Myers' viewers and all of these people. So every time it's going to change. So the demographic that you're sponsoring is not just mine.
Yeah.
It's weekly changing all the time.
So what, you know, like the demographic, yeah? I think what's interesting with you and why I fucks with you is like, you're very supportive. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, yeah? But I feel like in certain industries, you get a lot of, it's different to call it competitiveness, which is fine, but then you get a lot of like hating, like, oh, I've got one, you've got one, I can't really fuck with you now, instead of collaborating. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I think this is important.
Yeah.
Where did that mindset come from?
Look, at the end of the day, it's like this. I like to study things as well when I do things. If you look at America, watch Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Bobby Lee, all of these people. They're all jumping in and out of each other's podcasts. And this is why I said to you, we need to create a community here
Facts.
where every podcaster is going on every other podcaster, So they start knowing each other and start knowing each other's podcasts, because at the end of the day, you're only going to gain by dealing with another podcaster. A, you're going to gain their subscribers or their viewers. B, you're going to gain, if you meet them and connect, you're going to get a friendship with them, and they're going to be like what happened today.
Yeah.
I had a guest on, and the first thing I said to the guest is, you have to jump on my boys' podcast after this. Do you know what I mean? So I'm now sending you guests, and when you get someone on that you think will be a really great fit for my podcast, you're going to be like, go and jump on.
It's a recommendation, isn't it? It's like, I've got this person here. We might be like, nah, I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. But we might be like, actually, that's a great fit. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And the fact is, your platform is completely different from our platform, but it's still a podcast. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So they might think, why am I going to go and do 2 podcasts? That don't make no sense. But that's like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a different experience from going from 2 different places. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
completely different. Like what you guys have, I love what you guys have, because you got that vibe that's there, that's guaranteed every time, right? So initially I wanted to start my podcast by myself, and then because me and my brother have the weirdest conversations ever, dude. My brother is like 10 years older than me, but mentally he's like 10 years younger than me in joke ways. Do you know what I mean? Right. So sometimes we'll be sitting there talking about a speed bump for an hour and a half, and which turning is the right turning to take off a roundabout. And we'll have full-blown argument about this for like half an hour, just hilarious then. But what happened was, relying on him became a nightmare, dude. Yeah. I'd be like, let's record tomorrow. He'd be like, yeah, you know.
Sounds like someone I know.
Yeah, waking up. Exactly. Waking up late, not turning up.
Next thing, man's got COVID. Yeah. Then the production team stuck in India. Then it's, but when you got a team, it's mad. Like, everyone needs to kind of fit in the puzzle.
You need to gel and be there ready all the time. Yeah, because people say it's easy. They'll be like, yeah, why don't you just record 5 episodes a day? So but we got stuff to do. And
you got stuff to do, and plus you need to maintain the energy and the vibes, and do you know what I'm saying? Like naturally.
In one day, how many episodes can you do when you keep the same energy?
Dude, I once did 4 back to back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And after that, I remember feeling like I'm actually like everything was taken from
battered.
Me. Everything, all the energy was taken from me. I was like, I'm not doing that.
But I rate the consistency though. How long you been going for then?
It's been over a year now, man. It's been over a year. And with the consistency, that thing that you were saying, is you got to kind of make a decision that, because as much as you say, we ain't got time for it, you have a responsibility now, right?
Facts.
And your fans are your fans because they want to see you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And for you to say, we can't do 1 a week, yes, I understand you're busy and stuff, but you can do 1 a week.
No, listen, you're not going to come in here and say to us, raw, you need to do X, Y, Z.
No, but what I'm
got
saying
the pattern nice, trust me.
I know what you're saying, but what people like to see, that they kind of yearn to see the next one.
Yeah, no, facts.
So for them to wait 2 weeks, for a fan is a long time.
Yeah, I hear that. So
they want to see they want to see your next one straight away.
Working behind the scenes, everyone just hold tight, nice. Everything's gonna be irie. Don't worry.
That's the difficult thing, because when you're doing it weekly and you miss a week, because that happened to me recently.
Right.
So I ended up not getting one out in a week, and I was in my mind, I was just like, let's let him wait, and people were upset.
Right.
Like, they were like, yeah, that's just lazy, dude, and I was like, no, kind of. I was trying to explain it, but they were like, no, but you do it weekly, so why isn't there one out?
All right, cool. So, all right, look, let me keep it 100. If you're unable to get a guest, what do you do in that? So for me and Freek, it's not guest dependent. We just need to crack. Freek is the guest every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, we vibes, like, it's what it is. But if you ain't got no one, what do you do? Do you pod one up? Like, how would you go about that?
It hasn't happened yet, but what I think I would do, I'd either call you and Freek, and I'd be like, guys, we're doing part 2. Come, guys, let's do part 2. We're going to do another one.
Yeah, that's when the price goes up. You know, when a man needs you put the price up.
But usually I kind of try and plan my guests for the month. Okay. So I kind of find my 4 guests and I tell them, guys, we're doing it this week. I don't say on the 3rd and on the 15th. Yeah. But I say this week we're recording, and they kind of know that this week. If it comes down to it, I'll just do one by myself.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Have you tried one? Have you tried one solo?
I initially, see, when you were talking about consistency, I was initially going to do another one. So twice a week. One by myself in the week.
Just film yourself in both
No, but there's people out there,
right?
There's people out there that pod, like.
Yeah, it's Theo Vaughan this past weekend, Chris D'Elia, all these people, they do kind of like a midweek, let's talk about the week that passed. And people also like that thing. But I was going to do what you said, bro. I was going to film 2.
Both, yeah? Hey, Jibber.
No, I was going to change my t-shirt, bro. Film one and then film another one and do an episode of me just chatting to myself. And I thought that was
I've seen
hilarious.
people do that. That is a
Yeah.
crazy skill, though. Don't get it twisted. Like, it can be done, but it's definitely like a skill.
Yeah, you
and
gotta have a
people
character.
that have it on lock smash it.
But it doesn't happen the same day as well. It takes
Yeah.
time to get to that stage.
Yeah.
Weekly or even twice a week.
Yeah, definitely. And what people don't understand is that they start investing in your character, in it, who you are, you know, your humor and all these sort of things. So they kind of like yearn for that, especially if it's on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But for me, back to the guest thing, like you might say to someone, yeah, you know, Monday 3 p.m. 6 p.m. comes. Sorry, bro, I can't make like.
Yeah.
Dealing with that is long, bro.
Bro, I'll tell you what
I
happened.
got these man to look after.
Bro.
Then I got guests coming. It's long, like.
Same thing happened to me. So right at the beginning, I did an episode with a friend of mine who was a bodybuilding champion. So he passed me this other guy. This other guy's got like 20 million subs and all of this stuff. Like I don't want to drop names or anything. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, no problem."
He's dying to drop it, the name, you know.
Bruv, I
Go
do,
on,
but
go on.
I think he's coming on
He's
soon anyway.
dying to drop the name, bro.
but it's
you
like
know,
this.
man's shaking like, "Oh, I don't want to drop the name.
No.
Like, he wants to spray, but go on. Do your thing.
Waited till we've been talking about it all week. Waited till an hour before, and then goes, "I'm not really comfortable doing the podcast." So I was thinking, we don't have to talk about anything you're not comfortable about. That's what I was thinking. And then he was like, "No, I'm not comfortable doing it without getting paid."
All
And I was
right.
like, "But you've had 10 days to tell me this.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Why are you waiting until the last minute, to like an hour before?"
Yeah. Because he thinks you got you by the balls
Like
now.
I messaged him basically to say, "Yeah, all right, I'll see you in an hour."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
So
fucked.
that day I was in a position where, I mean, I still got someone the other day, but people will do that to you.
So what did you tell him?
Huh?
What did you tell him?
Nothing. I was like, all right, cool.
Kept
And,
telling him.
and I kind of just left it with like, inner peace and blessings, bro. Like just
mad.
left it with a nice little kind of like, but it's like, what can you say to someone, right? You know, you can't be like, no, you have to do it.
Be like, yeah, I'll pay.
So
you.
have you
I'm not
paid
paying
have
no
you
one.
No,
have
but
you,
you're not gonna pay him.
have you paid for a guest other than
No.
us two?
No, just you two. Just you two. And to be honest, I had to sell one of the cameras. So if you guys are wondering why I've only got 2 cameras left in my studio.
It goes. Yeah. So you've never paid for a guest?
No, I wouldn't pay for a guest.
But you know what it is?
Genuine.
When you start paying for guests, yeah, it no longer becomes genuine. They don't fuck with your platform. They're here for business, like work. And I understand, you know, people are freeing up their time, and time definitely is money. But nevertheless, like they have to be interested in what it is you're doing in order for it to be organic, in order for it to conversation to flow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you know they're just there for a paycheck, you might not even have the enthusiasm to chat to a man. Do you know what I'm saying?
For sure. You'd be surprised that the bigger names are not the ones that ask to be paid.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's
Yeah,
the
100%.
it's the 20,000, 20K Instagram influencers that ask to get paid.
Yeah,
It's weird.
but we might be laughing, but at the end of the
because-
day, it's a business though, and those 20Kers, 30Kers, yeah, might not be the, you know what I'm saying, the 2 point whatever, and
Yeah.
be stable within their income. I like to look at
Finance.
things from different angles, innit? So they're still on the rise, so they might need this payment. Do you know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
think, but do you think they're gonna bring what you need in the table if they want to get paid for that?
That's what I'm saying. And that's a very good point. If they're coming with the attitude that I want to get paid, then and they're on the rise, then we're all on the rise. Are we not supposed to support each other?
But are you gonna
what's
bring
going
me
on
whatever
here?
you?
Yeah.
And normally they don't. They just learn. If you have the certain numbers, you need to ask for money. They don't know why. They don't bring anything on the table. There's no return of investment. Nothing.
I hear that. But what I'm saying, I like to look at things from different sides,
Yeah.
innit? Different avenues, different perspectives, yeah. And putting myself in that person's shoes, who might be up and coming, they might not have a 9 to 5 or a job or whatever. They're only getting like small bits here and there from doing the influencer work, so they might actually need payment to survive.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to see it from different angles. Like why in someone's right mind would they ask
I
for
think
payment?
people should ask money for the right entity. Like I don't think you should ask everyone that asks you for something. Oh, pay me for this. Pay me
Right.
for that, pay me
Yeah,
for this.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And
Like,
there's value in different things.
And
So,
bro,
okay, you
like-
might go on that platform. He's exposing you to 60-odd thousand individuals that are Dubai-based. That's a demographic that you weren't exposed to in the past. So
Yeah.
it's, do you know what I'm saying?
And I think what he was saying was right. If you're in the kind of entertainment industry and a corporate dentist wants to bring you on his podcast to talk about dentistry because you've had veneers, then yeah, charge him for that,
Bro, because
if
there
it's
is-
someone who you're a basketball player and it's another basketball dude who talks about basketball players in Dubai, and you're like, yeah, pay me to go under, then you're what's wrong
Because
with you?
there's a company, there's a product that needs advertising in that project, right? If another rapper wants something, and it just depends, do I fuck with this content or not? It comes down to that. Like when someone asks me for something like that and be like, yo, pay me, that means this guy doesn't really fuck with whatever I'm doing, then cool. But if I like what you're doing, then I'll be like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And most of the time, the people that with the 20,000, they don't differentiate. Sometimes they're a fan of you and they still ask you for money. Like, it's just weird. Like, and I'm like, bro, why would I do that? You know? And
It's interesting, man. Like I just think
bro, it's a
every
weird,
scenario is a
it's
different
weird
scenario,
balance.
innit?
It's
We
a
can't
weird
put
balance, you know?
all those people in one basket. But I understand it and I hear it, innit? And as podcasters, like, well, yeah, like, you know, we do this on the side and we do what we're doing, and obviously you're doing it full time. These are things that are important to understand, like, because if I don't fuck with you, it's gonna show, like, on camera, and people will be able to see it. It's gonna be a shit episode.
Yeah.
There's no point. Luckily, like I said, we have the luxury of having each other. So it's just interesting when someone whose show is guest based, how they go about it. And like you said, you obviously do it one up. But with that being said, like, how do you differentiate then of you interviewing that person to you having a conversation with that person?
Look, so the way I do it is, obviously I know that these people have fan base, and obviously I know they have their stories and they have their, you know, things they might
They
want to
come
get
up.
across. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I will say to them is this: look, what I do, as you can tell, is lighthearted. It's a conversation between friends. But what you could do, if you have anything that you want to
Promote
or whatever, give me 3 or 4, you know, guidelines, and I'll slip them in and out as
Yeah.
we're going through. But I tend not to like very straight questions, especially questions that have been asked a lot to that person, or especially questions I already know the answer to.
You must have had like those people that are just like, you ask the question, they're like, yeah,
Dude,
no,
dude,
yeah.
I had an episode that didn't air. Okay, so I had an episode with a guy here. I'm not going to drop it. It was a lovely guy, really, really lovely guy. And we spoke about this before. He was a bit shy. And I said to him, listen, when I ask you a question, just really go into the answer and tell me. And he literally gave me 1-word answers for the whole hour. And then I was like, and my editor was like, I can't do anything with this. Like, I just can't do anything with this.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like, yeah, that's dead. Luckily enough, we haven't experienced that. But boy, if we did, I'll tell him to get, like, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for none of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And if we did, I would look at Freek. Freek would look at me. We would probably start busting up.
And
We
you
know
have
the
your own
vibe, and then we
conversation.
would just fucking have
Yeah,
our own
exactly.
conversation,
Yeah.
and probably be
That's the
cussing this
problem.
guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So there's that benefit. Look, Hitesh, like, yeah, we would roast that motherfucker,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
And you could do that because then you have your
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Maybe I'll just get Batman to stand there in the corner so I can start chatting to him if something goes wrong.
Get Batman to fist him up just in case any bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's listen, like I said, I respect what you're doing. I think the rise has been, you know, after doing some research and seeing that you've been doing it for a year, I think the rise has been quite quick, very quick. Like, how do you translate those numbers? Like,
You know, I kind of don't know, dude. Like,
just rocking.
when I look at some of the guests that I had, like, I shouldn't have had those guests that early on. Like, they shouldn't have been saying yes to coming on the thing. But I guess that I'm doing it in a way where they feel like, yeah, I will have this conversation with this guy.
And when they
you know?
fuck with you early doors, it goes to show their character.
Exactly.
Like, that's why I've shout out to Big Hass and all them, man,
Yeah.
that come on our show early doors, literally hadn't launched the Instagram yet, or the show, more or less, we had two episodes prior. He was like, yeah, I'm down.
Hass
Like,
was one of my first episodes.
there you go.
Same
Like,
thing. I
he
messaged him, he was
supports
like,
the
yeah.
culture, innit? He
shout
supports
out,
the
shout out
culture.
to
Big
Hass.
shout out to
Big
Hass.
Hass,
Like,
killing it, yeah.
he's definitely killing it, and he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to those individuals as
And
well.
do you know the thing that's funny about people like Hass? When I first spoke to Hass on the phone, you know how Hass speaks, right? He's such a supportive kind of guy. Like, when I got off the phone, I was just like, he made me feel like it was his privilege to come to me, bro.
Yeah. He's
And I was just like, I got off the phone.
talent.
Yeah, like, he made me so kind of confident, and the way he was talking and stuff, that I was just like, wait a minute, am I asking him or is he asking me to come on?
Yeah, no.
So but that's what he does, right?
I fuck with Has heavy.
Has supports the whole country and well, the whole region, right? That's the kind of person he is, and it's good to have those kind of people around.
Yeah. I agree with you, man.
But
like,
I wanna have something, guys, to ask you. Do you think the region are used to cringe content?
That's all they like, dude.
But what's the cause? Is it because like the cringe content been enforced in the community that long that people start liking it?
you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think with the region, yeah, we're talking about a place that has locals and expats.
Yeah.
And then when you divide the expats, these people are not from one place. They're all from different places. So what that person might find humorous, I might find corny. So there is a lot of corny shit going on because it's not my type of humor, but my humor might not be their type of humor. So I think that could be the reason behind it. Do you know what I'm saying? But that person's type of humor might have a bigger demographic than mine. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So then they just kind of stay in that zone.
Cool. So how come sometimes there's American content that we all find it humor?
Okay,
So I can't answer that.
The
but
point that I was going to make with that is that I think, because you got to remember that we as the GCC and these things are very green when it comes to TV and comedy and these things in regards to the rest of the world. So they're probably just getting raw now. Do you know what I mean? So where we grew up in London, and you know, America has always been around that kind of thing and comedy and stuff. We got it late, so we're kind of still a bit behind here in getting what is actually really funny and the kind of slapstick kind of
very
funny.
true.
Yeah,
There's
that's
even
facts, yeah.
even tell me if you have like a certain level of responsibility when you're shooting your podcast. It's like, because I feel a small bit of responsibility. Obviously, as the weeks go on, we start getting more and more reckless and not starting to give a fuck what we say, But in the beginning, and even till now, like, there's a certain level of like, you can't break out and start talking a madness about politics or religion. Like, can you go all that, that way?
But
like,
you got to remember, we're lucky. We don't have it as bad because we're kind of classed as, even me, I'm an Arab, but I'm seen as like the English Arab. So I can get away with more than if I was a local who had a podcast, or even an actual Lebanese or Egyptian or whoever who was raised in these areas who has a podcast, because they still are like, all right, we'll let them slide because they came from
over
from
there.
England or whatever.
100%.
So, do you know what I mean?
But the topic matters have to be addressed in a way,
but not as bad.
Not as bad.
I mean, I can address the same topic as someone else who's from here, the exact same topic, and I can bring it in such a raw, funny, kind of rude way.
You know
where
why
if they
though?
did, they're getting.
You know why? Because his content will go to his community.
Exactly.
Your content won't go to their community.
Facts.
And even
Like,
if it does reach their community, they're still going to be like, oh, that English guy.
No, they're probably going to watch it and be like, oh, he's not from here.
Yeah,
like, oh, it's like, he's not talking to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that comes down to the same question, which the communities, you know. So when we do a content, you need to think, where is this content going?
What's my demographic?
Yeah, where's my content going? Is it going to the 20%, 15, or 50? A lot of people be like, no, I'm trying to hit the local community, right? Sometimes your content they won't digest it. So I find it even positive when a local guy does something and it gets backlash by their community. At least they digested it and they made a conversation about it. That means it reached. But your content, they won't digest it. They won't. It would be like, okay, cool, bye. You know, like they won't even understand what you're talking about. They don't even comment about it.
All right, but you see, like how you're doing Arabic rap. That's something that's quite not traditional. It's something that is a blueprint that hasn't necessarily been explored before. So you don't even know your demographic. How do you?
I know
cater to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've experienced mad backlash.
This is. Whatever I'm gonna say right now, like the reason why I asked this question, because I'm trying to apply it to what we're doing, to you, to us, the podcast. Because I went down and I'm like, all right, cool. Who am I doing music for, right? Am I doing music for the locals? Am I doing music for people in the Arabs that live in the UK or the Arab live in the States or the Somalis, but Somalis they don't really speak Arabic, so it's like that's 10%, 20, 15% of Somalis speak Arabic. So definitely I'm not gonna do a business based on that. Like, but I do music for the people that live everywhere in this world, right? So I have to do lyrics. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I have to really do a vibe, the beat. So even if you listen to it, be like, ah, cool, that's sick. So there's a lot of layers in what I'm doing other than just a song, right?
Yeah.
I got a lot of backlash recently because of I did a song and then Big House was like, yo, Freek represent the UAE, right? And some people are like, nah, but he's not Emirati. Right? How can he represent the UAE? And there was a back and forth with a lot of people. And it's like, who's right and who's wrong? Like, I can be like, yeah, cool, I am, but I'm born and raised, but at the same time, they have a point. Because the rappers goes back to the community. In their community, they have rappers. They can be shit. It doesn't matter. They have their community. Maybe they like them. Who are we to judge it? They have their own community. Let's just say 50,000 people, right? And I have my community, which is like a bit from here. I've been in Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Tunis, 150,000 people. But these 50 might not accept what I'm doing. But it doesn't mean my business is going to stop because I don't really do music for 50,000 people.
Yeah.
But I'm based here. But it doesn't mean I have to do. You know
I think the best content, whether it's music, whether it's whatever you're doing, podcasting, whatever, you make content that you would enjoy. So you're making it for yourself
100%,
and whoever jumps on the boat.
I think the what I learned is I don't really say anything when it comes to that. I don't say I'm Arab, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I claim this, I represent this. Because there's a lot of as soon as you try to claim something, there's a lot of backlash. Like you said, especially if you're Arab and English.
Yeah, but then would you say that you...
Because if you say, oh,
you would lack identity then. Like, I think you are representing something.
Yeah.
You are from somewhere, whether people like it or not. So I'm sure there's people that are being picked for, a Brazilian football team that no one likes, but he's representing them. But he might have been born in Argentina, but he's representing these guys.
Who actually gave him that claim, though?
You get it vice versa as well, because you also get it when you don't claim.
There you go.
Because then they're like, for me, I get some people that are like, why are you not claiming your Arabness and being Lebanese and this and that? And I'm like, I've never been to Lebanon in my life, dude. Yeah. I was raised in the UK. I was born here. I spent all my summers in Egypt. My stepfather was Egyptian. I was raised as an Egyptian. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you get that side of it too, where I'm just like, look, I'm an Earth child. I don't care about any of this. Yeah. It's a fart in the galaxy and we're done, dude.
Yeah, it's not very clear cut, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to the question you're asking. No. Because, bro, we all saw the Euros. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, Mr. Penny, you're not from the UK. You're not from London, England. Done. You're black. Go back to your country. It's like, bro, I was born here. Like, what the fuck? So
exactly.
You're not gonna. The bottom line is you're not gonna be accepted by everyone, innit?
But it comes down to who's going to be your fans? Like the same guy that was supporting Raheem, 10 minutes later, they're like, fuck this guy. Like, it's the same guy. Yeah, it's always the same dude. They're going to claim you when they want. And they
claim you when you're winning, man.
Yeah, that's the game, innit? That's the game that, you just got to accept it. I don't think there's no way to even police that.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Where do you find, off the back of Freek's comments, like, do you check analytics? Like, do you see majority of your viewers are from here or from there or global?
Yeah, I check a lot of them. I've got like a majority here, UK, America.
Okay.
Most of them. Some in Russia. Which I find.
Yeah, no, it spreads out. Like the 0.1% is. We was looking yesterday, innit? Like Zimbabwe. Yeah. Like it's like, bro, do you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah,
I just want people to enjoy it, dude. I don't care where you're watching it from. I don't care who's getting involved. If I can create something that's fun for people to watch and can take their mind away from the everyday thing that's going on in their life, that's all I really care about.
Do you think something can be successful when you don't have a target audience?
Very much so, yeah.
Do you think it can or can't?
I think it can.
You think it happened before?
I think it's happening.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
100%.
It's happening all the time.
Bro, I think people are making things without no thought of target audience. They're just making shit that they like.
But they're subconscious. They're ticking the box.
No, but okay. Target audience might be what you're talking about to maybe a niche subject, but target audience being I'm making my podcast for Zimbabweans and that's it. It's never going to happen because other people are going to always find it.
It's subconscious. Like, for example, Joe Rogan he would never start the podcast speaking Russian.
He will never start speaking Russian.
Why?
Because
though?
he only speaks English.
Exactly. So he already ticked the box that he didn't even... Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, he's in America. Subconsciously, there's a lot...
Yeah, but there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But some people have to plan it. Like, some people plan these things. For example, all right? Cool. There's a lot of artists in GCC did songs in Egyptian. Why do you think so?
But that's not just the rap. Singing, all Lebanese women sing in Egyptian.
Why though?
Because that's where the money is, dude.
Where is it? That's the bigger demographic. That's the industry. Although that wasn't normal.
When it comes to music, Egypt, out of the Arabic countries, is the Hollywood.
Lebanon as well.
But even Lebanese singers sing in an Egyptian accent.
They did. And there's Lebanese.
Because Egypt is the hub for that. It's the Hollywood of that. So you kind of get a lot. It's like for you when you're rapping in English. Why are you rapping in English? Because
English.
Couple of lines. Words.
But you have English in there. Why do you have English in there? Because
of my knowledge.
It connects it. Yeah, it connects it to what it originally came out as, which is English.
Yeah.
So I think that, but I don't think. So I mean, like you said, maybe a Russian guy was like, I'm going to start a podcast in Spanish because I want Spanish fans. But I don't think anyone wants to ever limit their demographic.
Maybe even he has a Spanish influence.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's part of the business, right?
I just don't know. Listen, I think from my perspective, I'm not sure if I've ever created something with this is my target audience. It's like, this is what I like. This is what I enjoy. Whoever takes this in is the audience. Do you know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I think me, Hitesh, and I think Jabber, like, we're speaking from a different perspective where you're in a bit of a unique box where you're in the GCC. Nevertheless, you're from Somalia, but you're rapping in Arabic. So I can understand you asking that question as who's the target audience, because you're probably still trying to work out who it is. Yeah. Nevertheless, my advice to you would be just do whatever you want to do. And that's what you're doing anyway. And whoever it ends up being is who it ends up being. I'm sure Burna Boy is rapping and singing in Nigerian. Yeah. Nevertheless, people in fucking Puerto Rico are listening to it. So
Korea, same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I don't think he's saying, "Oh, my target audience is Nigerians." He's just doing what he wants to do, and whatever the result of that is the result.
He's with it.
Yeah.
Some people can shift. Like, but coming back to this question, when I was like, there's a lot of people shifted and they start singing in Egyptian accent. Although it was difficult for me to switch from the GCC to Egyptian, but that was so successful. It went boom, like 90 million, because obviously that huge demographic, they know the business. Sometimes you have to just tune few things in business and just shift it, and it can work perfectly after that. And I always have to keep that in mind. Like,
I'll tell you who is very successful and has a very specific thingy.
Who?
Batman DXB, bro. I'm telling you, he's got like a real. He knows what he's doing. He's doing it for a certain demographic.
Myers is like, yo, I'm done with this shit.
Wait till I show you pictures after, bro. You're gonna crack up, bro.
I need to see this shit. Anyway, bro, it was lovely having you on.
Yeah, bro.
Again, fellow podcaster, you got our support.
Thank you so much, bro.
I don't have to question. Vice versa is where it is. You know what I mean? We shift guests, and anytime you want to come kick it with us,
you too,
I think it was good to just have you on as like an introduction, show our demographic, what you have going on. Nevertheless, the next time you're here, you're just here. You're vibes in with us. You know what I'm saying? We got our topics, we vibes in, but it was a good introduction to what it is that you do and your particular platform. Anything you want to say, Freek?
Gang, man.
Didn't you just drop a tune?
Just yeah, bro.
What is it? What is it? Sahwalala. How you say? Sahwalala. Hey, my Arabic's coming from there. Walla. Yeah. Try and know. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to everybody listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out Jibber with Jabber.
Okay.
Might see us on there a few more times. You
sure.
might become a familiar face here. We're rocking out. DXB stand up.
Okay.
We in the building. We out.
Boom.
So you had your event a couple of days ago.
Yeah, with May.
How did it go?
It was a very weird experience, dude. I mean, it was definitely a learning curve for podcasting because. So she's here. She was like, I want to do a meet and greet, and I had a kind of connection with the Paramount Hotel. They've got a theater there where it's got like 50 chairs in it. So I was like, yeah, let's do a live episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought
That's something that we'll probably explore later on
not,
down the line
not
as well.
thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
So we did that to kind of coincide with her meet and greet. Obviously, never have done a live episode before. Didn't kind of think about what the possible issues could be from a podcast point of view,
Right.
not from an episode point of view. So I mean, it was mad because like, so everyone's here to see her. No one's here to see me, right? So I'm sitting there. So I have to ask her the questions, and where she's replying to the questions, she's replying to the audience. So it kind of took away that whole kind of very personal conversation that, like, just like we had now. We're very engaged with each other in a podcast. When people come to the studio, they're sitting down, I'm having a conversation with them. So it was me asking a question, her obviously performing to the audience, which is what they paid to come and see, and me sitting there like a dickhead for until that's kind of finished.
Yeah, but who do you
Till he
think?
comes back.
Who do you think's being the innovative one in that particular circumstance?
No, she has to do that.
So
You see what I'm saying?
do you think there wasn't a way that you could have channeled your energy more towards the audience, but still had the engagement?
No, because in the back of my head, I had to always kind of understand. And again, you have to think about the ego thing. This day is not about me. This is her show. So I don't want to be sitting there kind of trying to drag attention to myself. I had to kind of let her do her thing.
Yeah.
People paid to come and see her. I was a guy trying to get her to talk about some things.
Right.
So it was very strange. It was very kind of like, even visually, when we edit it, she's going to be looking at the audience and stuff. But I mean, it was interesting.
Right. Is it something that you
I
do
think-
again?
I think if it was something
Depending
like,
on the guest,
if it was
like-
like if it was us,
Right.
and we had half of a Crossoverdxb crowd in there, half of a JibberwithJabber crowd in there, they're coming to see us to just watch the
Us.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know, to watch us have a conversation. It's very different between watching a podcast and engaging with the audience.
Yeah.
It kind of became like a show.
It's like that late night show.
Like, yeah, it was
So
like
it's no longer
Yeah.
it's a live podcast, but it's not a podcast.
but it's not a podcast.
show now,
Yeah,
innit?
it's a show, and it's not like I was sitting that way facing the audience, like you know how the show's hosts do, and then the guest comes and sits there. I was sitting there, so it was a very difficult situation. It was definitely a learning curve. And shout out to May, she filled out that room in a day, dude. In one post, in one day, 60 people came
Yeah,
in.
shout
and
out to
took that
May,
out.
shout out to
May.
And she's, you know, you're gonna see May. She's gonna come in. She's a very funny girl, and we're gonna do a separate podcast,
Right,
Because I
right,
told her,
right.
listen,
That
I
ain't
need I need one with you separately.
How do you think her audience took that? Do you think they were satisfied with the product you gave them?
Because we had a questions and answers, and this is another thing which worked for her, didn't work for me on the podcast. So there was like 15 minutes of questions and answers between the crowd and her, and me sitting there
Asking the question.
on the chair. No, they were asking her questions, and she was answering them, and I'm sitting there just like.
Yeah, but are you like the one that's going, okay, yep, nice answer.
Yes.
And yeah.
But that,
so you're just kind of
but
hosting.
but I did that
So
just
you was
because I
hosting, like?
I had nothing to do, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's the next question?" Just so I could feel like I was doing something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was
host.
nothing for me to do.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not upset because that's her thing. That they came to see her.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
everyone came to
exactly.
see me and she stole the show and they were my fans, then I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I understood that I kind of had to sit back, and you know, one of my friends was like, "Oh, you seem nervous," and I was like, "I'm not nervous. I just didn't know what to do." Like,
Yeah.
And plus,
kinda
at the same time as well, I'm not saying it's nerves, but at the same time, you haven't done this before.
haven't done it
So
before. yeah.
you're learning on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
So-
sick. It looked sick.
I think
Yeah,
I think
it looked sick.
Shout out to the
yeah.
Paramount as well.
Yeah,
They
shout
look
out to
like
Paramount.
you're gonna have to take me
No,
down
I'll
there so I
hook you
can
up
see
for you,
the
for sure.
the
I think it's a
facilities.
great idea.
Proper, man.
It's a great idea.
It's dope.
And if done well, maybe it could work really
Was it
well.
rehearsed or is it just?
It was a bit the questions also, that's another thing. You know how I don't usually like to have questions, but we kind of had to
Yeah.
Pick.
structure the questions for her guests too, kind of thing.
Right.
So it was very I'd say different to what I usually do, and I was very aware of that.
No, bro,
Of the
shout out to you
difference,
though.
you know?
Yeah,
pulling
shout out
it
to you
off,
for trying
man,
it. And
really.
you know what, bro? Like at the end of the day, you're breaking barriers, innit? Because
Sick.
how many podcasts have had a live podcast in a theater and these sort of things?
But me and Freek did one floating on a table 50
Bro, I'm
meters
still-
in the
I'm
air,
still
bro.
waiting
and-
my
and
plaques.
dinner in the
Where's my
sky.
plaques,
Yeah, I'm still
bro?
waiting for it too, bro.
Come on, bro.
That was another thing which we should kind of do as well. Is that every fourth episode of the month, I want to do it somewhere random, like in the desert for one, around the fire, and we'll.
Bro,
sit in
I
there.
want to take Myers to the icebox.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bro, please.
I told him to come, but
Let's get it. Oh, I told you that day.
yeah,
No, you did. You
This
did.
guy just fucking
I was busy,
just
I was
flopped. Bro, a liar, bro.
He
Just-
gets at that. He gets at that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
He just bounced. He's like, nah, man, I'm not doing it. But it's sick though. It's good for you.
But
Yeah,
guys,
nice,
come
man.
check out our live podcast, me, Freek and Myers. We're going to be doing it in 2 weeks. Definitely
Yeah.
come down and check it out, man. It's
That's
gonna be
cap.
good.
That's cap. We move.
Move.